Back, Procarry Trucker. Just left Lebanon, Tennessee. Headed back to the terminal to Topless, Illinois. Currently westbound I-40. About 5.5 hours. Says I'm about 5.5 hours to terminal. About right. Vanessa, good to see ya. Jose Martin, good to see ya. Currently I-40 westbound. I just left Lebanon, Tennessee. Be coming up to Nashville pretty quick. I'm going to catch the Briley. Run the Briley around instead of going through the middle. Oh, danger! I am in a 2023 Peterbilt 579, and it has been in the shop more this year than it's been on the road. It has had the injectors replaced, probably the fuel injectors probably 7 times this year. It goes into the shop, it never fails. They've got to order parts, and it's there for a month. That idiot right there came off the shoulder onto the travel lane without running the shoulder to pick up any speed. It just pulled right out in traffic. Get that right, Vanessa. You say brand new. Is it 2025? Hola. Buenos dias. Wow. Hable shoot. Poquito español. My Spanish is very limited. Wow. Yeah, they just don't make these trucks anymore. The company I drive for puts PACCAR engines in their Peterbilts and has had nothing but issues. Nothing but issues. Like I said, my truck's been in the shop more than it's been on the road this year. They've had other issues with other Peterbilts. They decided they're no longer going to buy Peterbilts. They're going back to Max. Oh wow, yeah. There's a lot of the new vehicles are doing that. Don't have any grease certs on them. Shoot, I've got a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee at home that I took in for an alignment, and they can do an alignment on it, but if it needs adjusted, they can't adjust anything on it because it's not adjustable. They'd have to change parts out to make it to adjust the alignment on them. Yeah, a company I drive for almost shot themselves in the foot. They have had Max for years, and they decided they're going to switch the fleet over to Peterbilts. They got some Peterbilts in. They started switching them over, and they had nothing but issues with them. Well, they had done, I guess, not renewed contract with Mac, or decided not get Max or whatever, didn't put any orders in for Max. And I guess at the time there was like a 2-year waiting period for Max. But I guess they got something worked out. They started getting some more Max in. They got, I've seen some 23s and 25 Max out on the road. But anymore, Max not any more than a glorified Volvo. Volvo bought Mac. Well, they merged. They call it Volmac now. Yeah, sorry if you're still on here, but I apologize for the name pronunciation being wrong, but Sakenya. I'm sorry, but my Spanish is very, very limited, and I do not understand much Spanish. Yeah, I know you're here, Vanessa, but one speaking Spanish, I don't know if they're still here or not. I just want to let them know whatever they're typing, I can't read because my Spanish is extremely limited. I figured I'd be polite and tell them good day in Spanish, but coming up on an exit for the Hermitage, however you pronounce it, home of Andrew Jackson. Now, if somebody gets on here and wants to start speaking German, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not completely fluent in German. My German is a whole lot better than any other second language. This is Interstate 40. I just left Lebanon, Tennessee. I'll be coming up on Nashville, Tennessee, PDQ. I could get off at this exit, Old Hickory Boulevard, and run that over to I-24, but I think I'll be all right running the Briley around Nashville. I'm not German, but I learned German from my granddad. I learned a little bit of German from my granddad. Of course, by the time I got to high school, I lost a lot of it. I took 2 years of it in high school, and to try and keep up with it, I occasionally watch shows on Netflix or whatever, and I'll change the language to German. I'll get online, get German newspapers, read German newspapers, just to try to keep up with what I can of it, because you don't use it, you lose it. My great-grandparents came from Germany, my grandparents' parents. Almost 38, you speak German? Oh yeah, the company I was with before, I did a lot of time on the East Coast. Did a lot of loads out on Long Island. I'm not going to pronounce the name of the town right, but Hauppauge, New York, out there on Long Island, been there. Hicksville, New York. Whenever I went up into Canada, I'd go to Syracuse and up 91, across there at Thousand Islands. Jamaica. You in upstate New York, or you in the boroughs? I was thinking Connecticut, Vanessa, but I couldn't remember for sure. I was thinking either Connecticut or Vermont. No, I've been with this company 13 years, and we're pretty much regional. We're out of Southern Illinois. We run Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, North Carolina, Georgia, Wisconsin, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio. That's the biggest majority. On occasion, we'll go down to Texas. Got a load goes to Arkansas. Occasionally have a load down to Mississippi. What part of Southern Illinois? I'm actually south central Illinois. Mounds. Is that over by Decatur? Ah, Air Force. Yeah, Mounds. Is that over by Decatur, Illinois? Pretty sure Mounds is over by Decatur. That's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from where I live. Oh, north of Cairo. Okay, that's farther south than me. Cairo is about 3.5 hours south of me. Cairo's right there on the state line for Illinois, Missouri on I-57. Used to stay in Cairo quite a bit. There's a Quality Inn there. Oh, shoot-a-goo-goo-da. Here's the Briley already. They're gonna let me in. Cool. I was thinking I still had about 10 miles to the Briley. Oh, I want the Briley North. I want the Briley North. I want the Briley North. I forgot I'm on 40, not 24. I got to take the opposite exit. This one goes north. That other one goes south. I don't want south. Yeah, just a bit north of Cairo. Trying to think. From Cairo, you got about 40 miles up to Marion. Marion would be the next big town in Illinois north of there. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a real big deal if I missed it. I just would have had to take 40 through the middle to 24 and catch 24 in the middle there. But 7:43, almost 8 o'clock in the morning, I really don't want to mess with traffic through the middle of Nashville. I'll be going by the Grand Ole Opry this way anyway. You can get to see the Grand Ole Opry. Opera Mills Mall. This is the Briley Parkway. Basically goes around Nashville. But unlike most real bypasses around the city, like 465 around Indianapolis goes all the way around. The Briley Parkway is Tennessee Route 155. And it does go all the way around, but it's not a freeway all the way around. You get down there. If I would, from I-40, if I would have took the Briley south, I would have started getting into stoplights and crossroads and lower speed limits. Opera Mills Drive, next exit. So we're coming up on Opera Mills, the mall, and then right past it is the Grand Ole Opry. The Suburban gets up here and gets by me. I can get over lane. I need that next lane to the left. Oh, now I got a Toyota. Oh no, that's a Nissan. Come on, get up here. Frontier maybe? It doesn't look big enough. Nope, it's a Titan. That's a small Titan. Opryland Hotel, Convention Center, Music Valley Drive. There's Opera Mill. It's not a bad mall. And coming up on the Grand Ole Opry. They're doing some work on the Opry. Pretty much that taller brick building there, all the way over to where the flag is. I'm not sure what the separate buildings are for, but here's the actual Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, that's pretty much the way malls are going nowadays with all this online. Just south of where I live, pretty much, Effingham, Illinois and Teotopolis, our terminals in Teotopolis. Effingham and Teotopolis pretty much connected. But there is a mall in Effingham that's about to go. There's definitely nothing like it was back in the 70s, early 80s. Mall in, well, where I live at, Mattoon, Illinois, there's a mall there that's about vacant. Find a couple stores in there, just kind of surviving, but I'm in this lane here because those lanes to my right all end. They become an exit for 65. Well, building a subdivision there. Take this next exit here, and, or is it did I miss it already? Somebody lost a mattress. I might have passed it already. It's the first exit, the direction I'm going is the first exit past Grand Ole Opry. You can get off there and go west, and you go to Cooter's Garage, Dukes of Hazzard Museum. Speed limit should be bumping up here once I get north of Galatian, however you pronounce it, Galton. I think it's Galton Parkway. Galton Road. They got the variable speed limits through here, so it all depends on what they think traffic's doing. Yeah, I took the stepson. He is huge into Dukes of Hazzard. Seen every episode. You name an episode, and he can pretty well tell you what happened in it. He knows the history of the Dukes of Hazzard. I took him there unexpectedly one time. Said we were just going down to Nashville to go to the mall. And of course, he had no idea. Well, of course, he knew the name Nashville, but didn't know how to get there or anything else. I took the exit and I pulled up there at Cooter's Garage, and he about went crazy. Shortly after 65, I'll have I-24 west. Got a short deceleration lane and a sharp ramp. Surprised they don't have any more rollovers on this ramp than they do. Can't see it on the camera, but off to my left you can see the downtown Nashville skyline. Yeah, just after this next exit, I'll get I-24 west. Like I said, it's got a short deceleration lane and it's a sharp ramp. So, well, sharp ramp to begin with. Once you get on the ramp, and then once you're on the ramp, it ain't bad. I appreciate you stopping by, Vanessa. Greatly appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. little bit longer deceleration lane than I thought. I could remember. I thought it was shorter than that. But to get on the ramp, you definitely want to be slowed down. And once you're on the ramp, it ain't bad. Alright, flatbed, you gonna let me in? If anybody watches this from the beginning, I was coming across I-40 there. I was talking about Old Hickory Boulevard. I could have got off on Old Hickory Boulevard there on I-40 and ran across, and I would have came out right up here at this next section is where I would have caught 24. And when traffic's completely bad in Nashville, going through the middle and on the Briley, and got backups, Old Hickory's a good way to bypass. Not bad scenery down through here. 2023 morning. Currently I-24 westbound, just went through Nashville, Tennessee. Started my video, I was coming out of Lebanon, Tennessee, ran across 40 to the Briley. Ran the Briley around Nashville there. Got to see the Grand Ole Opry. Pretty bad when I can go uphill and pass a car. Oh, now they're going to speed up a little bit, make it harder to pass. Du dumme ficken Scheißkopf. Completely blacked out windows. You're a dumbass. You were born a dumbass. You're a certified dumbass, and you'll always be a dumbass. I didn't hit my blinker switch hard enough. Didn't turn my blinker on. Oh, now they're gonna fucking slow back down again. You fucking Scheißkopf. Dumme Schwarzaffe. Now he's up to 70. Our trucks have like a radar thing on them that we can look down at the dash and it shows the following distance in seconds and it shows their speed. Fiat was running 74 when he passed me. He slowed down. He's doing 69 now. Don't know why they feel they got to pass a truck. I run 68. And deer off to the right. My truck's governed to 68. Let's say they're running 68. But they're behind me, like, oh no, I can't be behind the truck. I gotta get in front of them. They'll speed up, they'll pass, they'll change lanes back in front of me again, they'll slow back down to 68. Didn't have any set time to get started this morning. I just had to get my 10-hour break in. Then I could have started any time after that. My break ended at 6:30. I had my alarm set for 7. I actually woke up before my alarm went off. Got around, got moving, stretched a little bit, got dressed. Got my pre-trip done, got headed out, shoot and nothing else. If I want to, I can grab me a nap here in a bit. When I get back in the terminal, I don't have another load for today. And this is my last day of my 4 days on, so I get 4 days off. The only thing I got to do when I get to the terminal is drop this trailer, clean out the truck for my co-driver. Got one other, I share the truck with one other guy. He drives it 4 days. Then his 4 days off, I drive it. My 4 days off, he drives it. I am going to have to stop and put go-go juice in this thing before I get to the terminal. Not bad scenery down through 24 here in Tennessee, especially in the fall. Yeah, it is. I've been doing this schedule for about 3 years now, 4 on, 4 off. I still make decent money. I make almost as much as the drivers that are working 5-6 days a week make. Little less, but it's very comparable. If you want to look at it as far as days worked, I actually make more than them. I work 4 days on, 4 days off. I work half the year. So if you took what I make in a year and doubled it for working basically the whole year, it would far exceed what the full-time 5-6 day a week people make. That's kind of the only thing keeping me here right now is the amount of home time I get with the amount of money I make. If I go anywhere else, I got to give up one or the other. Either I got to give up my 4 days off, or I got to give up the amount of money I make to work 4 on, 4 off. There is a company not too far from me. Topless is about an hour. The terminal about an hour from me. Actually, Sullivan is probably closer to half an hour. So maybe a little bit closer. There's a company there that offers 4 on, 4 off, but they don't pay as good. In this industry, that's the main thing that talks to a driver is how much home time am I going to get, how much money am I going to make. Next after that is benefits. What type of health insurance, how much is it going to cost me, how good is it. I'd say after that would be vacation. How much vacation do I get? How long do I have to be here to get vacation? I'm really hoping traffic is not a nightmare. up here at the Tennessee-Kentucky state line. Got 24 miles to go to the state line. 25, something like that. Yeah, I haven't been on a 4-on, 4-off schedule. That never changes. So even if I work a day extra, either work a day over or come in a day early, or I take vacation or some reason I take a day extra day off or whatever, the 4-on, 4-off schedule doesn't change. So basically, if I work an extra day, I'm only going to get 3 days off. I can get my calendar at the beginning of the year, well, end of December, I can get the calendar for the following year. And I can mark that calendar the entire year, the days I work. The entire year, I know what days I have off, and I can plan things. What's really good is when I take 4 days vacation for my 4 days I'm supposed to work. I'll work 4 days, so then I get my 4 days off. Then the next 4 days I'm supposed to work, I take vacation, so I got those off. Well, the next 4 days I have off, so I take 4 days off, I get 12 days off. That makes it really nice. And being 4-on, 4-off, they consider your week's vacation 4 days. So I get 4 weeks vacation every year. So I get 16 days vacation. $20 miles to Clarksville. That is where Fort Campbell is. Home of the 101st Airborne. Well, it used to be. I don't know if it still is or not. I think it still is, 101st. About 4.5 hours from the terminal down. Really not looking forward to the freaking I-57 in Illinois. Half debating once I get in there, Kentucky, exit 81, take it, run the penny ryle. I can run the penny ryle up to Henderson. There goes a Tennessee State Trooper. Oh, I don't miss the East Coast at all. Last company I drove for, I did enough time on the East Coast. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't mind Georgia South. Wouldn't be bad. Maine, Vermont may not be bad. Rhode Island's still pretty populated. But Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. Of course, that state cop just went from the left lane all the way across the right lane onto the exit without a single turn signal. Wow, South Carolina, that wouldn't be bad. But anything from the South Carolina, Virginia line north to Vermont, nope, I don't want no part of that. This is one interstate I have ran from one end to the other more than once. I guess you'd say kind of the northwest end of it is there about Marion, Illinois. And then the east or southeast end of it is down there in Knoxville. Or Knoxville, Chattanooga. I think it's Knoxville. No, Chattanooga. It ends there at I-75. Runs from I-75 to I-57. We go down to Georgia, Lithonia, Georgia, Norville, Georgia. Used to be a couple other we delivered to down there, but we literally run I-24 the entire length of it. We'll run 57 down to Marion, catch 24 at that end, and we'll run 24 all the way down to I-75 where it ends at, and take 75 down into Georgia. Yeah, the last company I drove for, pulling liquid, food grade liquid, picked up a load of grape juice in the state of Washington. Took it halfway across Nova Scotia, which Nova Scotia, from Maine you cross into New Brunswick, Canada, and then from New Brunswick you cross into Nova Scotia. And about halfway across Nova Scotia, I took that grape juice to a winery. I think it was like 7,500 gallons of concentrated grape juice. That's a long drive. take this live on up here to the state line. And it was bad coming down here yesterday. Stayed in Mount Vernon, Illinois for my break. I was headed down there to Lebanon. Had a 1 p.m. appointment there in Lebanon. And I left the motel basically an hour and a half early. It has been so long ago. I've been with Bulkmatic 13 years, so that was 16 and a half, 17 years ago that I did that. I can't remember the name of the town where I picked that load up in Washington. But going down to Lebanon last night, or yesterday, just south of Clarksville, probably right around this area here. 13-mile marker, yeah, probably right around this area over on the other side, over on the eastbound side. They had a truck that caught fire. So that was a 2-hour delay. So that made me a half an hour late. I got there and there was another truck that just got there. He was late for the same reason. But unloading the same spout, the same line, so I had to wait on him. That was another 3 hours. And then my load didn't unload worth of crap. Trailer just would not hold pressure. And mine ended up being, I bet I was close to a 4.5 hour unload, 5 hour unload. Or no. Yeah, about a five. Mine was about a 5 hour unload. Normally it's about an hour and a half there. So needless to say, I didn't have enough hours available once I got unloaded to get anywhere, so literally drove across the street to their big parking lot, and that's where I took my break. Got him a little spare gas can on the back of his bike. Going long distance, that's probably not a bad idea. Depending on where you plan on being. I mean, if you plan on running interstate, ain't no reason to be running out of gas, out of fuel. Running back roads, no telling how far you are from a fuel stop. Probably not a bad idea. I don't know if I'm going to run the penny around. I think I'll just stay on 24 to 57. I'll deal with the construction through on 57 there. If I run the penny ryle up to 64, run 64 across, I've still State Route 130 to deal with from all the way from Grayville to Newton, Illinois, and then State Route 33 from Newton over to Teotopolis. To either deal with slower speeds, 55 mile an hour for a while, or deal with 55 mile an hour dealing with stop signs, stop lights. I think there's a bridge or two on 130 that's down to one lane. So they got the stoplights set up on each side of the bridge, controlling traffic across it. So I think I'll just deal with the construction on 57. May have to slow down to 55, but at least I'll keep moving. Flatbed in front of me is running 63 mile an hour. 66. He's going downhill now, so he'll be able to pick up speed. Bucking on. You're gonna have to slow down. You idiot! You are a freaking idiot! Oh. Throw my Schwarz off it. Clarksville, Tennessee. Well, like I said, Fort Campbell is there in Clarksville, home of the 101st Airborne. Looks like I might get lucky. No backup today here at the state line. Because it's usually backed up to exit 4 here. Almost to the state line, Kentucky-Tennessee line. I'm in Tennessee now. I'll be crossing into Kentucky. don't know why that flatbed just went to the left lane for no reason. Got a car up here on the shoulder. That's why he went to the left lane. People, that little blinking light says I'm coming over. And I am in Kentucky. $252 miles to go to the terminal. This area, basically area here, is Hopkinsville, Kentucky area. We have a terminal here in Hopkinsville. That's the Kentucky Rest area there on the right. I just passed. I think I'll end this live. I turn on and knock the book up. There went my phone. Hang on there. pretty bad when the road's so rough it'll knock your phone out of the cradle. Stop this live here. Everybody hopped on. I appreciate it. Appreciate the thumbs up. We'll catch you on the next one. If I can get bouncing enough here.